I've been unemployed for like the past like few months now, and I'm not gonna lie, it is such a shitty feeling, bro. Like I be waking up just to stare at the four fucking walls of my room, man. Like I'm slowly just losing my mind every single fucking day, man. And bro, every single morning I get the same motivational speech from my mom. I'll just be like, damn, like all I want to do is put a bullet in my skull. Is that too much to ask, bro? Damn. But I'm not gonna lie. Since I've been unemployed, I started realizing I have an addiction. And I realized I actually have an addiction to my phone, and I've been on it a lot more recently, bro. I just found out about this feature on the iPhone. I don't know if it's on Android or any of the devices, but on iOS on iPhone, you can see what your screen time is and how much you spend on your phone, like how much time you spend on your phone. So what I realized is my screen time is literally 10 hours a day. I average 10 hours a day of screen time. That is crazy. And in real time, I'm starting to notice the negative effects of being on your phone too much. So look, I got a little story. So what I started to notice for myself is I feel like I started developing traits of antisocial behavior. Now that wouldn't be a problem if I had that before. But I never had no issues with talking to people before in my life. Like I would consider myself an outgoing person, but me being on my phone, I spend a lot of time on my phone just reading a bunch of bullshit. I feel like it warped my brain in some capacity. Like I don't even know. But look, this is where it gets weird, bro. So as I said, I never had an issue with talking to people before. Like I remember I used to hand out resumes like 6 months ago, no issue. I'd always talk to the manager, have conversation a little bit. But check me out. This is where it gets weird. So look, I went to Dairy Queen, right? If y'all know what Dairy Queen is, basically it's like an ice cream spot. You get ice cream, burgers, fries. Basically just a fast food spot. So I go in with my resume and I'm gonna drop it off, right? I open the door, and as soon as I walk in, I notice it's a large group of people. There's like a decent amount of people in here. So I'd say about like 15 people in this room. And I'm not gonna lie, I started breathing a little heavier. And I never had no issue like that before. Like I was really breathing like I was really getting nervous. So as I said, I opened the door, so a few people start to look at me, and this is the weirdest part. My I instantly look at the floor, bro. I instantly look at the floor. Like, look, I never had a problem with eye contact before in my life. I'd always just make eye contact. I'd always scan the room, see who's in here. But when people looked at me, I instantly looked at the floor. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I started looking at my shoes for no reason. And I started shuffling forward. Like, that was super fucking weird to me. So, look, I get in line. Minutes go by. People are getting their food. They're leaving. And this is when the weirdest shit started to happen, bro. So boom, I get to the cash register, and she asked me what I want, right? So I'm looking at the menu. Keep in mind, I'm blind, bro. Like I need to use glasses and stuff. I'm looking at the menu and I can't see a fucking thing. Like everything is just blurry. So I'm just standing there, just looking at it, just thinking of what to say to this woman who's waiting to take my order, bro. Keep in mind, I walked into this restaurant not to order any food, but to drop off a resume. So this shows to you how much I'm panicking right now. So what I ended up saying was, I didn't come here to order any food. I just wanted to drop off a resume real quick. Is it cool if I talk to the hiring manager? But that's not what came out of my mouth. She did not hear that. Basically, what I really said in that moment was, because I couldn't get a fucking word out. I couldn't speak. As soon as I opened my mouth, no words came out, bro. She looks at me confused. She's like, what? And I swear on everything I love, the only word I could get out was resume. And then I took it out of my folder. I was carrying a folder. I put it on the table. I'm like, resume again. I say resume again. That's all I can say. And I was whispering into it. I was like, resume. So once the resume was visibly on the table, she started to understand what I was came in here for, right? So she gets the hiring manager. Hiring manager walks over, and he asked me a couple questions. And he's like, okay, do you have your availability and your hours on here, some shit like that? He asked me some shit like that, right? He asked me for my availability. I'm like, no, I don't have that on my resume. but I can write it real quick. So he's like, okay, cool. Gives me a pen, right? And when I'm writing my availability on back of my resume, my hands are literally like fucking shaking, like literally uncontrollably, like just my like bro, I could barely write. I'm telling you, this was the weirdest shit ever. And the worst part about it, after I wrote my availability on the resume, after I talked to the cashier to bring the hiring manager out, as I'm walking away, right, I can hear paper shredding. I can hear paper shredding. They ripped up my fucking resume, threw that shit in the trash, bro. After all that, yo, that shit hurt, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that shit hurt. They ripped that shit up to shreds. I heard it ripping as soon as I was walking away. Fuck. But yeah, I just had to share that story real quick because that was just weird as fuck. Like, I might have to take a break from the phone to self reflect, like, just really evaluate what's going on in my life right now, bro. Because before I could talk to people, like, no problem. Like, I never had no social anxiety, nothing like that. So, this was hella fucking weird. But other than that, I'm out.